Jackson Radio Show.
To me, swimming is a confusing sport. Because sometimes you do it for fun, but then other times you do it to not die. And when I'm swimming, sometimes I don't know which one it is. I gotta go by the outfit. Pants. Uh-oh. Bathing suit. Okay. Naked. We'll see. Should I be swimming faster? Or am I getting laid?
Swimming. Now that's a sport I'd pay to see. Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. You know, I get that we all are into sports. I mean, I grew up on sports. And I obviously spend a lot of time on sport because my younger son is in baseball. My older kids were martial artists and, trained under me. Pretty bad boys. And what happened at some point in my evolution when I used to fight karate for sport is I finally said, you know what? This is for life. This is the type of thing you want to be involved in because it's more than the sport. It evolved beyond it. And when I talk about transcending, I'm not even kidding slightly that transcending took me out of, I looked at sports very differently. Now, it could be that I just matured beyond it. And again, I'm not saying people that like sports and watch sports are immature by any means. I was a diehard fan for much of my adult life. And I honestly can't tell you guys when it occurred, but I do remember it occurring, and I said, I don't care anymore about sports. You know, these guys don't seem to care. And one of the I can tell you a catalyst for it was I would have a friend of mine over. His name is Kenny, and he's a Mexican cat, and he's a huge Dallas Cowboy fan. And he and his wife would come visit, and we'd watch, the game. I was a big time Cowboys fan, and Kenny, he had a towel, like a Linus towel. And when the Cowboys would screw up, he'd pop that towel on the floor and it would make a pop sound. And it was always when he was mad. When he was happy, he was chewing the towel. And I just remember thinking, man, this dude is so into it. I mean, he's in full cowboy garb. His wife is, I'm talking hat, sunglasses, the cowboy shirt, blue jeans. And it was just like the strangest thing. So the Cowboys lost one weekend, and he was noticeably upset. But I figured he's just upset for the moment, right? So the next day, I don't remember why it was, but I ended up calling for something. They had left something, or I said, "Hey, what are you guys going to be doing?" And his wife goes, "Kenny's not feeling good." I go, "Oh, that's too bad. He seemed like he was okay last night." She's like, "No, he didn't go to work today because the Cowboys lost." I was like, "What?" "Yeah, he's upset. He hates when they lose." And I'm thinking, surely you're joking, right? And she's like, "No, Kevin, seriously, he's really upset. He didn't go to work." And I remember thinking, how many people exist like this guy? Look, I hated when the Cowboys lost. I really did. But I didn't hate it more than the players. I hope not. I see these guys, I'm just blown away. So, long story short, that was part of it. As it evolved and I got closer to the Cowboys, because I lived not too far from Deion Sanders, I watched Michael Irvin during his period, of contemplation, staying with Deion, and we got our hair cut at the same place, so I'd see him. My hair cutter or barber. I don't even know what to call him anymore. But she would cut my hair and she'd say, "Oh, Kevin, I got to hurry up." And I go, "Why?" She goes, "Yeah, the boys are coming." And so Deion would pull up around the building, park his car. It was a Mercedes, I think a SL 500, maybe a 600. And he'd park around the back, come in through the back, and then I'd leave, because I'd go out so that nobody knew they were in there. She would close her shop to do their hair. And I thought, wow, that must be nice, to have that kind of clout. And then close the blind so nobody could see them in there. And that was when they were together. And Deion was helping Michael through his rough patch, and Michael's doing really well now. Anyway, what was I talking about? What I wanted to talk about anyway was the protest and the ratings and all that. And the Vegas shooting, of course, on Monday morning was a godsend to Goodell, or Roger Goodell, because without this crazy leftist killing dozens and wounding hundreds, the NFL was going to be front and center, and that wasn't going to be good news for the NFL. There was less kneeling during the national anthem this Sunday, but a lot of agitation, raised fist seemingly on the rise. I don't know if you guys saw these guys. Many of these guys said, oh, we'll stand, but we'll raise our fist. Dozens took to a knee. I heard it was 18 or 19. So I don't know if that's dozens per se, but around that. But let's say it was dozens. Sat or raised their fist. And President Trump tweeted, of course, it's very important that they stand. Number of kneeling players was down from last weekend when more than 200 athletes took a knee. And I think that's telling. But we'll get to it in just a second. So let's look at who did what. L.A. Rams outside linebacker Robert Quinn raised his fist before the Rams-Cowboy game. Punter Johnny Hecker had his arm around him. The Rams played the Cowboys, who returned to their usual pregame configuration, all standing on the sideline, but without arm's length this time. Remember what they did last time. Everybody kneeled, then they stood. Cop out, not going to work. Pittsburgh Steelers, as promised, stood on the sideline during the national anthem after watching from the tunnel last week in Chicago. And with the exception of center Ryan Jensen and guard Matt Skura, the Baltimore Ravens all took a knee on the field before the national anthem and received boos from many in the crowd. The team then stood on the sideline after the music started. The crowd gets it. We understand, look, you're not going to fool us with the sit down, then stand up. You either stand for this flag or you can go, or you're kneeling to pray. Get out of here. Two members of the Detroit Lions, Jalen Reeves-Maybin and Steve Longa, knelt during the national anthem, the New York Times reported. Their opponents, the Minnesota Vikings, outside of Jerick McKinnon, locked arms and stood for the anthem. McKinnon stood behind the sideline. New England Patriots stood with their right hands over their hearts and their left hands on their teammates' shoulders. During the game, Carolina Panthers quarterback raised a fist after a touchdown. See, I don't care about that. I don't care if Carolina Panthers are like, hey, yeah, woo. That's just, people raise their fist in celebration for a lot. That's not like it's owned by black people. But let's look at the numbers. So Fox News, they had a good, Monday night. And they said 12.6 rating and a 26 share, 14% increase over the last year's same time. So they said Fox had the top-rated NFL broadcast of the weekend and its best single-header telecast since 2015, the network announced on Monday. And Deadline said this, they touted the Cowboys rating, AOL did as well, on Monday night, but they forget that Jerry Jones was a sports hero when he warned that if his players kneeled, they would be gone. Snagging a 9.3 meter market result and the best ratings of the season so far, last night's Monday Night Football was a thankful ratings touchdown for a league that has been losing ground in that metric so far this season and all the year. Week to week, last night's Monday Night Football was up 7% over the Detroit Lions' 24-10 crushing of the New York Giants on the 18th, which was up over the season opener the week before. Now, all of that was to be expected. The bigger issue here was people wanted to see, was Jerry Jones going to be a piker or was he going to be a pro? Was he going to live up to what he touted? So, the kneeling, standing arm in arm, and everybody was looking. If there was a game I was going to watch, it was going to be in support of Jerry Jones and what he did there. Okay? But he messed it up. And I came back and I wrote a piece and said, if the market cap of the Cowboys, it said it's $4.8 million, billion rather. Average market cap for a team, they say, is $2.5 billion. So the Cowboys are worth roughly double any other franchise, almost any other. I said the Cowboys went down to mediocrity in that moment. But here's the bigger thing. Those ratings are not going to stay. I'm just telling you, they won't. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I trust you. I trust my gut on this. And I was asked on Risk and Reward, or one of the Fox shows, what I thought. And I said, I don't believe the people are going to go back to the NFL until they do a complete and utter mea culpa. Until that happens, they will never get this audience back to the degree that they've had. And there are other reasons why it's slipping, but this isn't helping at all.
Kevin Jackson on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.